Ladies and gentlemen, young and old, rich and poor, wherever you are in life, I ask you today not to speak, but to listen, not to shout, but to focus, not to drift with noise, but to walk with purpose. We live in a world that is loud. Everywhere we turn, opinions, debates, distractions, and digital chaos. We are bombarded by voices that call us away from who we are meant to be. But I want to tell you something today. There is power in silence. There is strength in stillness. There is clarity in quiet. Stay silent. Stay focused. You don't need to respond to every critic. You don't have to announce every plan. You don't need to prove your worth to a noisy world. Because when you're silent, truly silent, you start to hear the truth. Not the truth of the crowd, but the truth inside your soul. Not the truth of noise, but the truth of purpose. Think of the great men and women of history. They didn't rise by shouting louder. They rose by standing firm, by working while others spoke, by building while others doubted, and by staying focused when others fell to distraction. You want to grow, be quiet. You want to succeed, be still. You want to overcome. Shut out the noise and listen to the call inside you. Focus is not about intensity. It's about direction. It's about waking up every day and asking, am I walking where I'm called to walk? Am I building what I was born to build? And when you know your purpose, you don't chase applause. You don't need the world to clap for you, because your reward is not in the noise. Your reward is in the finish line. You see, silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. Focus is not boring, it is bravery. You don't need to talk to be heard. You don't need to post to be powerful. You don't need to explain yourself when you're grounded in something greater. So I say it again, and I say it with fire. Stay silent. Stay focused. Walk your path. Build your dream. Keep your eyes straight ahead. Don't get distracted. Don't get discouraged. And don't give the world what it doesn't deserve your attention. Because the real battle is not out there. The real battle is in here. And if you can win in silence, you'll rise in strength. Thank you. Stay silent, stay focused, and watch what happens. In today's world, silence is often misunderstood. Many see it as weakness, as passivity, as a lack of courage or conviction. We live in a culture that rewards noise, louder voices, bolder claims, constant opinions. We're told to speak up, to stand out, to make ourselves heard at all times. But there is a deeper truth, one that goes against the grain of this noisy generation. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strength. True strength doesn't always announce itself. It doesn't have to. In fact, the strongest people are often the quietest. Why? Because they don't need to prove anything to anyone. They are secure in who they are. Their identity isn't built on public approval, applause, or attention. They know that speaking at every opportunity doesn't always lead to wisdom. Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is say nothing at all. Silence allows space for clarity. When the world around you is shouting, silence becomes a sanctuary. It creates a stillness where you can think, reflect, and listen not just to others, but to your own soul. In the quiet, you hear what really matters. You discern what's true from what's trivial. And when you understand the truth, you don't need to waste your breath defending yourself or arguing with everyone who misunderstands you. That's strength. Strength is not found in reacting to every voice that challenges you. Strength is found in restraint, in knowing when to speak and when to be still. It takes far more power to hold your tongue than to lash out in frustration. It takes greater discipline to remain calm in the face of provocation than to respond with anger or pride. Silence is the armor of the focused and the shield of the wise. Think of the people you respect most. Are they the ones who constantly speak, constantly argue, constantly need to be seen? Or are they the ones who listen carefully, speak intentionally, and carry themselves with quiet confidence? Real leaders, real thinkers, real builders, they do not depend on noise. They move silently, but with impact. Their silence does not mean absence, it means they are working, they are watching, they are growing. There is also power in the unknown. When you are silent, people cannot predict your next move. When you are silent, you preserve mystery and protect your vision from unnecessary scrutiny. The more you talk, the more you give away. but silence guards your energy. It keeps your strategy in your hands. It gives you space to prepare, to sharpen your skills, to deepen your roots, to become unshakable. Silence also creates room for listening, and only those who listen well can lead well. Listening requires humility, a willingness to admit you don't have all the answers. And humility is the foundation of strength. Those who are always speaking are often hiding insecurity, but those who are silent are often grounded in something deeper. They are not swayed by the winds of opinion. They are anchored. In silence there is peace, in peace there is power, and in power there is transformation. If you want to grow, learn to quiet the noise around you and inside you. The next time you're tempted to respond, to defend, to declare, pause. Breathe, stay silent, and remember, your strength isn't in the words you say. It's in the battles you don't fight. It's in the focus you protect. It's in the silence you choose, because silence is not weakness. It is strength in its purest form. Focus is not just about effort, it's about direction. You can pour all your energy, time, and passion into something, but if it's not aimed at the right goal, it becomes noise. Distraction, waste. In a world full of voices pulling you left and right, real focus doesn't come from doing more or being louder. It comes from knowing where you're going and why you're going there. It comes from direction, not noise. Noise is everywhere. Social media, news, conversations, trends, and the constant pressure to keep up. We're surrounded by distractions that masquerade as opportunities. People will tell you to chase every idea, every lead, every shortcut. But the more you follow the noise, the more you scatter your strength. Focus, on the other hand, pulls you in tight. It quiets the chaos. It sets your feet on a narrow path and says, walk here, don't wander. A direction gives purpose to your focus. Without it, you're just busy. You're running but not arriving. You're building but not completing. A person with direction may appear slower, less active, even less visible, but they are moving with intention. Every step they take has meaning. Every choice they make is aligned with their goal. They're not distracted by comparison or competition. They don't feel the need to prove themselves to the world because they know where they're going and they know why it matters. Noise makes you reactive. Direction makes you intentional. When you operate out of noise, you're constantly responding to things that don't deserve your energy. You change plans, change goals, shift focus, all because someone said something, or something trending caught your eye. But when you have direction, you don't flinch. You don't get pulled into every conflict or every fad. You stay the course even when it's quiet, even when no one is watching, even when it gets hard. The truth is, not every good thing is meant for you. Not every opportunity is your assignment. Not every door is yours to walk through. That's where direction comes in. It helps you discern. It filters the noise. It keeps you from trading your long-term vision for short-term validation. Because when you know your direction, you don't need to do everything. You only need to do the right things. And staying focused in the right direction isn't easy. It takes discipline. It takes sacrifice. It often means saying no to things that look good on the surface, but pull you away from your core. It may even mean disappointing people, letting go of applause, walking alone. But that's the cost of real focus. That's the price of true growth, and the reward, it's progress that matters. It's peace that lasts. It's the fulfillment of knowing you're building something that's actually worth your life. Don't be fooled by the noise of the crowd. Don't let busyness become your identity. Don't let opinions become your compass. Ask yourself, what am I really after? What has been placed in my hands to do? Then point yourself in that direction and focus fiercely, faithfully, quietly. Turn down the volume of the world and turn up the vision in your heart. That's how clarity comes. That's how focus sharpens, and that's how results are born. Focus doesn't shout. It doesn't demand attention. It simply moves forward, steady, determined. And in a world full of noise, those who walk with direction are the ones who reach the finish line. Not first, not fastest, but faithful to the path that was theirs all along. Distractions are everywhere. They come in many forms: opportunities that look good but aren't right for you, opinions that shake your confidence, setbacks that steal your focus, and noise that clutters your mind. If you're not careful, these distractions will pull you away from what truly matters. They'll dilute your energy, shift your priorities, and derail your progress. That's why you must learn to ignore distractions, not because they aren't tempting, but because your purpose is too valuable to be compromised. Your purpose is your direction, your assignment, your reason for moving forward. It's the core of who you are and what you're meant to do. But purpose doesn't shout. It doesn't chase you down or beg for your attention. It's quiet. It requires stillness. It needs your discipline. And to stay connected to it, you must protect it fiercely, intentionally, and sometimes silently. Distractions will try to disguise themselves as good things. They might come as offers, praise, recognition, or even well-meaning advice. But not everything that's good is good for you. Some distractions look like open doors, but they lead nowhere. Others look like urgency, but they're just noise in disguise. If you follow every distraction, you'll end up busy but not productive, active but not aligned, and a distracted life is a divided life full of motion but lacking momentum. Protecting your purpose means guarding your focus. It means saying no, even when saying yes feels easier. It means staying off paths that aren't yours, even if they seem popular or profitable. It means being misunderstood, overlooked, or even criticized because the crowd often celebrates what's loud, not what's true. But you weren't made to please the crowd. You were made to fulfill a calling, and anything that pulls you away from that calling, no matter how attractive it looks, is a distraction. The people who make a difference in this world are not those who try to do everything. They are the ones who stay committed to one thing. They know their lane, and they stay in it. They wake up each day and make the choice to protect their purpose, even if it costs them comfort. They don't chase applause. They chase impact. They don't waste time explaining themselves to every critic or chasing every trend. They stay rooted in their mission and let their work speak for itself. There will always be noise around you. There will always be someone doing more, talking louder, moving faster. But remember this: comparison is a distraction, doubt is a distraction, regret, fear, insecurity, all distractions. You don't need to fight every battle or answer every question. You just need to stay the course. Keep your head down, your heart clean, and your eyes forward. Your time is limited. Your energy is precious. Don't let it be drained by things that have nothing to do with your purpose. You weren't made to chase everything. You were made to complete something. And that something deserves your full attention. It deserves your focus. It deserves your silence, your grit, your patience. So ignore the distractions. Let them pass. Let them talk. Let them tempt. But don't let them take you off your path. Protect your purpose like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. A distracted mind can never build a purposeful life. But a focused mind, a protected purpose, can change everything. There is a quiet power in working behind the scenes, away from the spotlight, with no need for applause or recognition. In a time where everyone wants to be seen, where validation is measured in likes, followers, and public praise, choosing to work quietly may seem like a lost art. But those who understand real progress know that noise doesn't build legacies, consistent effort does. Real growth happens in silence. Transformation takes place in the shadows. Work quietly and let the results speak. When you work quietly, you take your eyes off the audience and fix them on the task. You stop seeking approval and start seeking excellence. You stop performing and start building. This shift changes everything. It allows you to focus with precision. It trains you to rely on discipline, not drama. And it teaches you that success is not about announcing your journey, it's about finishing it well. The loudest person in the room is rarely the one doing the most. Talking about goals doesn't achieve them. Declaring your intentions doesn't make them real. It's easy to speak. It takes no effort to say, I'm going to succeed, I'm going to change, or I'm going to build something great. But it takes real strength to rise early, stay committed, show up day after day when no one notices, and keep going when it feels like nothing is working. That is where greatness is born, not in noise, but in effort. Quiet workers don't waste energy proving themselves. They don't explain their process or defend their pace.
They let results tell the story. They understand that fruit takes time to grow, and that premature exposure can destroy what hasn't fully developed.
So they protect their process. They don't rush to show progress. They let it build day by day, brick by brick, decision by decision. Letting results speak means trusting the process enough to be patient.
It means keeping your head down and doing the work, even when recognition is delayed and outcomes are uncertain. It means finding motivation not in others' praise, but in your own purpose.
And when the time comes, when the work is finished and the foundation is strong, the results will speak louder than any words ever could. They'll reveal the late nights, the early mornings, the sacrifice, the effort, all without needing a single announcement. Working quietly is not about hiding. It's about humility. It's about knowing that the mission matters more than the spotlight. That success is sweeter when it's built on integrity, not attention. That the best rewards are earned, not demanded. You don't have to broadcast your every move to prove your worth. Your character will be revealed in what you produce. Your value will show in what you've created. Your legacy will speak, and it will speak clearly, powerfully, and truthfully. The most impactful people are often the ones no one sees coming. Because while others are talking, they are building. While others are performing, they are preparing. They understand the power of silence, the strength of staying hidden until it's time to rise. And when they do rise, they don't need to shout. Their work does the talking. So if you're in a season where no one sees you, where progress feels invisible and the work feels lonely, keep going. Don't be discouraged by the quiet. The quiet is where strength is forged. The quiet is where roots go deep. The quiet is where future success is shaped. Work quietly, trust the process, stay faithful, and when the time is right, let the results speak. They'll say more than you ever could. Not everyone will understand your path. Not everyone will support your decisions. Some will question your motives, doubt your ability, and criticize your every move, not because you're wrong, but because your purpose makes them uncomfortable.
In moments like that, your first instinct may be to defend yourself, to explain your actions, to justify your journey. But the truth is, you don't owe everyone an explanation. Don't explain yourself to critics. Critics don't need answers, they need noise. They're not always looking for clarity. Many just want a reaction. They thrive on pulling your focus away from what matters, dragging you into debates that do nothing but drain your energy. The more you explain, the more power you give to voices that were never meant to guide your life in the first place. It's easy to get caught up in the need to be understood. There's a part of us that wants validation. We want people to see our heart, our effort, our intention. But when you live for approval, you surrender your direction. You start moving not with purpose, but with permission. And the moment you seek permission to be who you are, you lose the very power that makes you unique. Your critics don't see the full picture. They weren't there in your quiet battles. They didn't feel the weight of your choices or carry the burden of your calling. They see the surface, the moment, the mistake, the result, but not the process. And yet they speak with confidence. They speak as if they know you, but they don't, and they never will, because some things are too deep for shallow minds. Explaining yourself won't change them. No amount of reasoning will convince someone who is determined to misunderstand you. You could speak truth with kindness, share your story with vulnerability, and still be met with criticism. So don't chase their approval. Don't rearrange your purpose to fit their perspective. The path you walk is yours. It was given to you, not to them. And the only voice you must be faithful to is the one inside you. When you stop explaining yourself, something powerful happens. You take back your energy. You stop reacting and start responding. You move from defense to direction. You build instead of battle. You grow in silence and let your life speak for itself. Because over time, results silence critics far better than words ever could. There will always be people with something to say. Let them talk. Let them speculate. Let them assume. You don't need to correct every false narrative. You don't need to defend your timeline, your pace, or your process. Keep building. Keep walking. Keep choosing purpose over pride. And eventually, your consistency will be louder than their opinions. Some of the greatest accomplishments in history were doubted in their early stages. Some of the most impactful leaders were dismissed, mocked, or underestimated. But they didn't stop to explain themselves. They didn't quit to please the crowd. They endured, they persisted, and their legacy is what people remember, not the noise. So if you're facing criticism today, take a breath. Stand tall, stay silent, keep doing the work. The ones who are meant to understand will see in time. The rest were never your audience to begin with. Don't explain yourself. Just live with clarity, lead with purpose, and walk in truth. That's more than enough.